a wild story because I started at Mills as a major in international relations and ethnic studies. I wanted to work in global politics, whether that was as a translator or at the UN or something. I wasn't quite sure, but I needed a job. And so I went over to the Career Center and they had a posting about a paid internship for a booking and management agency in Oakland called De Leon Artists, run by the late Lupe De Leon, who was a manager for the late Etta James.
Oh,
And
okay.
he and his partner, Bruce Solar, um, had this office in Oakland tucked away in Piedmont. And Bruce's main client was the late Gil Scott Heron. But there were a number of artists that Bruce represented. So Stanley Turrentine, Shirley Horn, Junior Walker, the late Willie Colon, who we just lost, I believe, like a few months ago. And then, um, we would do non-exclusive deals with like Bootsy Collins. And so it was just a great training ground to work with some of these legendary artists
Oh,
who didn't necessarily have to put an album out in order to tour. In
okay.
fact, they toured more than they recorded. And I was the office and contracts manager for De Leon artists until, he and Bruce parted ways. And then I went with Bruce and he set up shop in San Francisco. And so I was working with him on his roster of clients. And he kept a lot of the artists, like he kept Gil and he kept some of the jazz artists, and then he added other people. Like he started managing Cake, and he started working with more folk and blues artists, and so it was just awesome to defend their writers, collect their money. I was underage, but I was in the club collecting
Okay.
money for the artists
Okay.
because I don't collect the money, you don't get a show. That's just how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of club owners had to look the other way because I wasn't even supposed to be in there, right? I mean, fortunately, I wasn't drinking because I just wasn't my thing, but I was not supposed to be there, but they couldn't help that the person that Bruce had sent was 18, 19. So it was what it was. So that's how I got bit by the music industry bug, was that I wound up in an internship. And I highly recommend that.